Okay, here we go. Court is in session and calls number 332-250. Case is style of state of Texas versus Alex Michael Lockman. We have Alex Michael Lockman appearing via Zoom. Mr. Lockman, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor, that's my full name.
Mr. Lockman, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Lockman, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lockman, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Lockman?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Lockman, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Giles Cole. And Mr. Cole, do you waive a record in Mr. Lockman's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lockman, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This document was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that on or about March 20th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Lockman, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Lockman, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Mr. Lockman, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
I spoke with my attorney.
Okay, Mr. Lock, let me ask you this question. Mr. Lockman, did anybody force you to plead guilty?
He said that it would that I might have enough time served if I did a plea of guilty.
Okay, my question to you is, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Lockman, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Mr. Lockman, on page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials, AL, that are on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lockman, I have another document here that's titled Trial Court's Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. At the bottom of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I understand that.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lockman, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification? Mr. Lockman, did you sign a document out there where you are on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
No, sir, I didn't.
When we were in the other booth, I gave you a piece of paper and I had you sign it. You brought it with you.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, now, Mr. Lockman, before you signed and initialed all of the paperwork that I have just spoken about, and that includes the paperwork that's on the tablet, as well as the paper that you signed, did your attorney go over those documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lockman, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State. I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1? Your mic is on mute.
Yes, Your Honor, states one.
No objection.
And no objection, State's Exhibit number 1 is admitted. Mr. Cole, you advising counsel, Mr. Lockman. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lockman, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lockman, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
45 days, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. We are
Oh.
10 days, 10 days.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Mr. Coleman's notes. He had to step out.
Okay, we'll give you a minute.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, hold on.